Imagine a world where the lightning-fast, game-changing transformation of steel production in the 19th century, what historians call the Bessemer moment, happens again. But this time, the revolution is not in iron and fire, but in the living code of biology. What if artificial intelligence, working hand-in-hand with batteries of miniaturized reactors, could slash the costs of making everything from food ingredients to life-saving medicines? What if this fusion of digital and biological ingenuity could spawn whole new industries, redefine sustainability, and tip the scales of the global economy right now, in our lifetimes? It sounds like science fiction, but many in the field believe that biomanufacturing is teetering on the edge of such a leap, a Bessemer moment for biology. To understand just how seismic this shift could be, let's take a step back and examine the journey that brought us here. Biomanufacturing is not new. Its roots reach back thousands of years to when ancient civilizations harnessed fermentation to make bread, beer, and cheese. In the early 20th century, Chaim Weizmann's breakthrough in producing acetone through bacterial fermentation helped turn the tides of the First World War by enabling explosives production. The mass production of penicillin during the Second World War, achieved through precision fermentation and large-scale reactors, saved millions of lives and set the stage for the pharmaceutical industry as we know it. The late 20th century saw the dawn of recombinant DNA technology, which allowed scientists to program microorganisms to produce complex proteins, insulin, growth hormones, even antibodies. This was the beginning of a biological toolkit that would only grow more powerful with time. The 21st century has seen the rise of synthetic biology and gene editing, unlocking the ability to re-engineer life itself for human benefit. Every step forward has brought new capabilities, but also new challenges in scaling, cost, and complexity. Today, the demand for greener, more efficient, and resilient manufacturing is rising faster than ever. Governments, industries, and consumers are all calling for solutions that can reduce pollution, conserve resources, and respond flexibly to shocks, such as pandemics, geopolitical instability, or supply chain disruptions. This is where biomanufacturing shines. A recent report from McKinsey & Company estimates that biomanufacturing could inject up to $4 trillion into the global economy each year by the year 2040. To put that in perspective, that is roughly the size of the entire German economy, added annually through new value creation, job growth, and increased productivity. The food and beverage sector alone, powered by microbial fermentation-based ingredients, is projected to reach over $22 billion in market value by the year 2027, with annual growth rates outpacing most traditional industries. This surge is being turbocharged by dramatic advances in the tools of the trade. The cost of synthesizing DNA, for example, has plummeted by over 99.9999% since the year 2001, an astonishing decrease that rivals and even surpasses the famous Moore's Law in computing. What once cost millions of dollars and years of effort can now be achieved in days, for a few $100s. This democratization of genetic engineering opens the floodgates for innovation, allowing startups and research labs worldwide to experiment, iterate, and scale new products at unprecedented speed. Policymakers have noticed. The European Commission unveiled a €1 billion biomanufacturing initiative in the year 2024, aiming to boost research, innovation, and commercialization of sustainable bio-based products. In the United States, the Department of Defense's BioMADE program has channeled over $200 million into building domestic infrastructure for biomanufacturing, focusing on everything from new materials to pandemic preparedness. These investments signal a fundamental shift. Biomanufacturing is not just a niche for pharmaceuticals or specialty chemicals. It is becoming a strategic pillar of modern economies. Yet for all this progress, a stubborn bottleneck remains. Scaling up from the lab bench to the factory floor is slow, risky, and expensive. Every new molecule or process often requires its own custom production line, with months or years of trial and error optimization. Equipment varies between research labs, contract manufacturers, and commercial plants, making technology transfer a logistical headache. The result? High costs, wasted effort, and a slow pace of innovation. A far cry from the plug-and-play, scalable manufacturing that fueled the digital revolution. Enter Arsenale Bioyards, a bold new startup founded in January of the year 2024 with a radical proposition: invert the entire paradigm of biomanufacturing. Instead of designing a unique process for each new product, Arsenale builds the manufacturing platform first, a universal, AI-driven system that can handle a wide range of biological processes. Scientists then optimize their formulas within this standardized industrial environment. From day one, as Massimo Portancaso, Arsenale's visionary CEO, explains, by inverting the process, you can standardize the industrialization part, which brings down the cost massively. So what sets Arsenale apart from the pack? For starters, their platform uses arrays of miniaturized bioreactors, each as small as 50 milliliters, about the size of a shot glass. These are no ordinary test tubes. They are equipped with state-of-the-art precision sensors that monitor pH, temperature, dissolved oxygen, nutrient levels, and even subtle metabolic markers, all in real time. These sensors feed torrents of data into a sophisticated artificial intelligence engine, which sorts through millions of possible biological designs. Unlike brute force approaches that simply throw genetic tweaks at the wall to see what sticks, Arsenale's AI looks for natural synergies and codependencies among organisms and process parameters. It predicts which combinations will not only work in miniature, but also scale up reliably to industrial-sized tanks holding 10,000 or even 60,000 liters. It is an audacious vision, and the stakes are sky-high. If Arsenale's approach succeeds, the company claims it could cut production costs by up to 90%, a seismic shift in an industry where even a single-digit percentage improvement is cause for celebration. Imagine a world where biomanufactured food, cosmetics, and medicines become as affordable and ubiquitous as mass-produced steel did after the Bessemer revolution. This is not just about economics, it is about unleashing a wave of creativity, lowering the barriers to entry for innovators everywhere, and democratizing access to advanced manufacturing. But can this vision survive the test of reality? The biomanufacturing industry, especially in high-stakes sectors like pharmaceuticals, is famously risk-averse. Even the most promising new technologies face a gauntlet of technical, financial, and regulatory hurdles. Investors worry that what works in a 50-milliliter reactor might behave unpredictably in a 60,000-liter tank. Sensors must be exquisitely sensitive and robust, capable of operating flawlessly in the harsh conditions of industrial bioprocessing. The data streams must be vast, accurate, and fast, feeding the AI the lifeblood it needs to learn and adapt. As Dr. Cristalla Jones-Prather, a leading synthetic biology expert at MIT, warns, synthetic biology is enabling a new wave of biomanufacturing innovation, but precision and control are everything. Despite these challenges, early results from Arsenale and others are promising. The company has already built its first pilot biofacility, featuring 2 500-liter bioreactors and several generations of its signature 50-milliliter micro-bioreactor arrays. In just a few months since its founding, Arsenale has generated enough high-quality data to validate its AI algorithms, paving the way for larger-scale trials. The next milestones are ambitious. By the year 2026 or 2027, Arsenale plans to launch a pilot facility capable of 10,000-liter production runs, with a 60,000-liter commercial facility targeted for no later than 2029. This rapid progress is fueled by a growing ecosystem of support. In February of 2024, Arsenale closed its first seed financing round, raising $10 million to expand its staff, infrastructure, and commercialization efforts. The initial focus will be on food and cosmetics, where regulatory requirements are less stringent than in pharmaceuticals, but the company's long-term ambitions reach much further. Industry observers note that Arsenale's platform is designed not as a contract manufacturing service, but as an enabling technology. Manufacturers who use the platform retain full ownership of their data and process know-how, ensuring that the benefits of innovation stay with the creators, not just the middlemen. Let's take a closer look at the broader trends and implications. Across the globe, interest in biomanufacturing is exploding. In the United States, the Biomade initiative is fostering public-private partnerships to accelerate the growth of biomanufacturing capabilities, including investments in new materials, advanced biofuels, and medical countermeasures. The National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine recently called for increased investment in biomanufacturing infrastructure to address future biological threats and ensure national security. In Europe, policymakers see biotechnology as a key driver of competitiveness and modernization, with the Biomanufacturing Initiative aiming to keep the continent at the forefront of sustainable industry. The private sector is responding in kind. From Silicon Valley to Shanghai, Startups and established companies are racing to develop new bioproducts, optimize processes with AI and robotics, and explore frontier applications like carbon-negative fuels, biodegradable plastics, and even personalized medicines. Recent breakthroughs at MIT, such as a microfluidic device that can screen over 10,000 enzyme variants per day, are accelerating the pace of discovery and optimization. In the pharmaceutical arena, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recently approved the first biosimilar product manufactured using continuous biomanufacturing, cutting production costs by an estimated 30% and raising hopes for more affordable medicines worldwide. The environmental stakes are equally compelling. Bloomberg NEF's latest analysis estimates that biomanufacturing can cut greenhouse gas emissions by up to 85% compared to conventional chemical manufacturing. Algae-based biomanufacturing, for instance, offers a path toward carbon-negative production of fuels, chemicals, and materials, according to the R&D Algae Commercialization Consortium. Dr. Jay Kiesling of UC Berkeley emphasizes, "We need to develop more sustainable and scalable biomanufacturing processes to replace traditional petrochemical-based production." Imagine the climate impact if even a fraction of global manufacturing were to switch to these cleaner, greener methods. But the risks and uncertainties are real. Scaling out using batteries of small reactors rather than a single massive vessel offers flexibility and reliability, but also introduces complexities in process control and data integration. Regulatory authorities, especially in the pharmaceutical sector, demand meticulous validation and traceability, which can slow down adoption of new technologies. Even with AI and precision sensors, biological systems can be unpredictable, with subtle shifts in conditions sometimes leading to wildly different outcomes. Investor confidence, essential for scaling these ventures, depends on clear evidence that the technology can deliver consistent, high-quality results at commercial scale. There are also deeper questions around ethics, public acceptance, and the social contract. Will consumers embrace foods, cosmetics, or medicines produced by genetically engineered organisms? Will there be pushback against products made in bioyards rather than traditional factories? How will societies balance the promise of innovation with concerns about safety, transparency, and equity? These debates are just beginning, but they will shape the trajectory of the biomanufacturing revolution in profound ways. So what does all this mean for you, the viewer, the innovator, the investor, or simply the curious mind hoping to understand the forces shaping our future? First, it is a wake-up call. Biomanufacturing is not just a distant dream or a laboratory curiosity. It is already reshaping the industries that touch your daily life. The burger you eat, the face cream you apply, even the medicines you rely on. Any or all of these could soon be made in a bioyard, powered by AI and precision biology, rather than a smokestack factory or a chemical plant. For entrepreneurs and researchers, the message is clear. Early adoption of AI-driven, modular biomanufacturing systems could provide a decisive advantage. Those who build expertise in these platforms now may become the leaders of tomorrow's bioeconomy, capturing new markets and driving innovation at a pace their competitors cannot match. For business leaders, now is the time to scout for partnerships, invest in talent, and explore collaborations with bioindustry pioneers. The prize is enormous. As McKinsey predicts, biomanufacturing could add up to $4 trillion a year to the global economy by the year 2040, an opportunity no forward-looking company can afford to ignore. For policymakers, the call to action is equally urgent. Investing in infrastructure, education, and research will be critical for ensuring that the benefits of biomanufacturing are widely shared and that national economies remain competitive in an era of rapid technological change. Public-private partnerships, like those championed by BioMade in the United States and the European Commission in Europe, will play a vital role in accelerating progress and managing the risks. And for consumers, awareness matters. The choices you make, what you buy, what you eat, what you support, will help shape the future of this industry. Staying informed about how your products are made empowers you to make decisions that align with your values, whether that means supporting sustainability, innovation, or local economic growth. As new products and processes enter the market, the power of informed consumers will be a key factor in determining which innovations succeed or fail. Looking ahead, the possibilities are breathtaking. Imagine a future where modular, distributed biofacilities can be set up close to cities, on farms, or even in remote locations, providing on-demand production of food, medicines, and materials. Some researchers are already exploring the idea of biomanufacturing in space, supporting long-term missions and extraterrestrial colonies. With continuous advances in AI, robotics, and synthetic biology, the dream of decentralized, resilient, and sustainable manufacturing is no longer a fantasy. It is within reach. The evidence is mounting. Arsenale's early pilot facilities, launched only months after the company's founding, already demonstrate that miniaturized, AI-managed reactors can replicate key processes at industrial scale. The next few years will be critical as Arsenale, along with other pioneers, pushes toward 10,000 and then 60,000-liter production. Success will require not just technological prowess, but also collaboration, investment, and public trust. Here is a secret that may surprise you. While the world marvels at the science, perhaps the greatest revolution is in ownership and empowerment. With platforms like Arsenale's, manufacturers retain full control over their intellectual property, data, and process expertise. The knowledge does not disappear into the hands of a few global giants, but stays with the creators, enabling a more open and equitable ecosystem of innovation. The race is on. Will AI-powered bioyards become the backbone of tomorrow's economy, the way steel mills and assembly lines defined the past 2 centuries? Only time will tell. But as the pace of change accelerates and more breakthroughs emerge, one thing is certain. The age of biology-driven manufacturing is no longer a distant vision. It is arriving now, reshaping industries, societies, and lives in ways we are only beginning to imagine. If you are excited by these possibilities, if you want to stay ahead of the curve and understand the technologies that will define the next era, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We will bring you more deep dives into the science, the economics, and the human stories driving the biorevolution. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments. Would you trust food or medicine made by artificial intelligence and engineered organisms? What excites or concerns you about this new frontier? The conversation